Hello and welcome back to HD Racing and to the multiplayer of Forza Motorsport. Today I have two races to show you from the Forza GT series, and I have to say these races were very frustrating, and you're gonna see why in just a moment. We're starting out on Maple Valley here, somewhere towards the mid-pack, and since I started on the outside I decided let's just take the outside line, give the people on the inside more than enough space and just try and be safe and yeah, not be involved in any incidents, but apparently some people just don't care. That guy on the inside definitely saw me and he just decided to put his foot down and push me off the track. And I even get a 0.5 second penalty for that, which is like, it's so ridiculous. Like sometimes the penalty system works kind of okay, but this time definitely not. I definitely was not in the wrong there. And yeah, I was kind of out of it here. You can see I'm taking that corner wrong, going over the crest, even I think pushing the brake in a little bit and just spin out completely. And from that point onward, my race was basically done and I didn't finish it all that great. So I'm not going to show you the rest of it. It's not very interesting. So we are instead going to head to Spa for the first time, and it's actually raining. It was raining a lot in qualifying already, and even in the race, you can't really see in the intermission screen here. I mean, there's definitely rain going on. You can see the windscreen wipers, but it seems like every driver has his umbrella guy somewhere off camera who's just keeping him dry, because there's no rain on the drivers at all. It's kind of funny to me. And even the car doesn't really seem all that wet, and you can't see many raindrops, but I don't know, maybe it's just some weird graphical settings or something that's wrong. You can see clearly here on race start that it is raining still quite a lot. And this race could have been really great. Starting on P2, I qualified quite well, and I was actually kind of confident in the rain, even though it is definitely a lot more difficult than just driving in the dry. But you can already see taking the outside line and trying to avoid people, but some people just send it and then they just keep their foot in and just push you around like a bowling ball. And yeah, I don't know. This is something that is quite frustrating to me in these lobbies sometimes, that people just don't seem to care. I mean, okay, they maybe outbrake themselves, they collide with you, but then that just happens. They keep their foot in and just try to push their way past, and that's not good racing etiquette. And I feel like that's something that needs to be addressed somewhere or another. You can also see there people really struggling. Oh, in the wet, definitely very difficult. And I was, just trying to get through the field here again. I was dead last after that incident in turn 1. But as I said, I was kind of confident in my driving in the rain here at Spa. So I decided to just try to get it together and hopefully get by a lot of these people to get closer to the race leaders again. You can see in the top left I'm only 9 or maybe like 10 seconds now away from the race leaders, which isn't all that bad considering what happened. So yeah, getting by some of these guys already and just trying to get good exits out of the corners so I can get by most people just on the straights and don't have to fight in the corners themselves. So yeah, as you can see, it's definitely slippery. The driving physics in Forza are still something that I need to get used to when it's wet. It does feel a little bit weird from time to time. Like, yes, of course there's less grip, but it feels a little floaty to me. Not really sure how to describe that. I don't know if some of you maybe had similar experiences. I mean, the wet tires definitely help, but still it feels a little bit weird, at least when you're coming from something like ACC, where the wet driving physics are really, really good in my opinion. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that's just something I gotta get used to. So yeah, it's definitely something that I have not driven all that much, so maybe that's also the reason. So yeah, already up to P11 here, and at this point I was feeling kind of good about this. You can see these guys fighting, also having a bad exit, so I just push past, try and brake as late as possible for bus stop here. And I saw that the guys behind me were not beside me anymore, so I just take a very tight line and trying to get closer again. And you can see here this guy moves over to the left and just pushes me almost onto the grass. I just managed to barely keep it together and keep it on the track. And I was like, well, that's really frustrating. This guy either didn't see me, which I doubt, or he just decided to, push me around for good measure, like, because for some people that's an appropriate driving style. As I said, it was really frustrating this race, and you're gonna see in just a moment I have a way better exit out of Rouge Radion, and this guy moves towards the left, and I decide, okay, let's go towards the right, and he just pushes me off. At least it seemed like that to me, and I was actually just, before starting to record this, taking a look at the footage again, and you can clearly see that he is steering right, even though he's probably very aware that I'm there. It just doesn't leave me space, pushes me into the grass and the wall, and that's that. I'm back in P13 now. So even though I was doing quite well in pushing through the field, it's just not meant to be today, at least. Yeah, this is something that I don't know what Turn 10 can do here. I mean, the penalty system I think definitely needs some work. Like sometimes, as you saw in the first race, you get penalties for something where you're not responsible, and sometimes I think the penalties are too lenient in terms of, like you saw there, the guy definitely pushing me off, and that's something that I feel like needs to be penalized way more. Maybe this is gonna sort itself out a little bit more once the safety rating settles in a little bit more, but I feel like right now it's all over the place, and I think also the matchmaking currently is broken in terms of the matchmaking not putting you into lobbies with players of similar safety rating. I think I saw something there in their no issues list, but there is supposed to be a patch this week, so hopefully some things get fixed. But actually I'm more hoping for stability and performance fixes actually for this first patch. So we're gonna see. Hopefully we're gonna get some more information on that in the coming days. If there's anything interesting, I'll make a video on it and let you know what is gonna be in there. But for now, we just don't know. So yeah, this race, as I said, could have gone way better. The first corner incident already very frustrating, and the second frustrated me even more. And I was, thinking about maybe not continuing this, and I said it was only 3 laps, so I mean, might as well. Also just try and get some experience on wet driving here. What I've noticed, and I think I've shown in a video before, wet tires on a track that's not all that wet anymore, so that's drying out. That is actually, the tires are actually degrading kind of fast there. Here, when it's actually really wet and still raining, the tire degradation isn't all that bad. But I think it's still more than medium tires on a dry surface. Just from my feeling, I don't have any data to back that up yet. Something I definitely want to figure out at some point. Here you can see the guy in front having a bad exit, but actually just staying to his lane and letting me by. I wish that all people would do that, and that there weren't the people that just, I don't know, are driving like it's an arcade racer and you can just push people around like it's nothing. Yeah, as I said, frustrating, definitely. But yeah, overall, driving here on Spa, I've not driven it in the dry much, I think only in single player so far, and that was actually really fun and felt very good. In the wet is definitely a challenge, especially when it's wet like this. I think this was classified from the event information as heavy rain. I'm not quite sure, but I think it was, and you can see it is raining quite a lot. But yeah, I think that's from the driving itself. It's definitely doable, but it's more difficult than driving in the dry, even on the wet tires. And I don't even want to know what it's like if you are on the wrong tire and you just take mediums or something. It's probably all undrivable, pretty much. What you maybe also have noticed, I think also in the last video maybe, that I have turned on traction control. It was really helpful in this race for sure. You can see it activating quite a lot more than normally on a dry surface. I've set it to sport, so like just that it's activating a little bit. I'm just trying that out right now because I felt like, especially in the GT cars here, it's definitely helpful. I don't know if it's probably faster if you can manage to drive without traction control completely, but I felt like I was having trouble controlling the car in some places, so I decided to just try that out, and I might switch it off later again. But as I said in a video before, use the assists that you feel comfortable with, and for me that right now is the case, that traction control on sport level is feeling better to drive for me. So yeah, I suggest just do the same and don't let anyone tell you you have to drive without any assists, because that's just not true. And especially in the rain, I feel like turning on traction control is definitely helpful. But yeah, finished overall then in P8. It could have definitely gone better if there wasn't this second incident. I think I might have been able to get closer to the podium once again, but wasn't meant to be this time. So yeah, this was the second race here at Spa, and that's all I have for you today. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you have any ideas about the penalty system? Can something be improved here? Hopefully there's something that Turn 10 can do, or maybe just the safety rating will need to sort itself out. So yeah, hopefully things will improve. But yeah, that's it for me for today. I've been HD Racing. Thanks for watching.